Good morning, everyone. Good morning for us from Austin, Texas, US, and good night, good afternoon for everyone around the globe. This is Andy from Overnight Finance. I'll be your host today. Max is not joining. I hope I don't see a dip in participants after this race. So today we'll go through our news, which happened last week, and I'll answer your questions if in case you have ones. First of all, let me start with today's news. I know that it's a huge decline on markets, so apologies and I'm really sorry for everyone who loses money now and who lost money, especially what started in UST. So for us, it's been like a pretty good time though, because people are bringing their money to USD Plus. But for those who lost, it's a really sad moment, and now the markets are keeping going down. So it's not easy time for all of us. I have a friend who's in traditional finance, and he's playing on S&P 500, and he just shared with me yesterday that this is going to be at least 10 to 16 months. So um, let's get ready for kind of long bear time here. But yeah, enough of sad news, because we've got way more cool stuff actually from Overnight Finance. So um, let's start with the development. If you go, guys, to Dystopia, we'll start with Dystopia. So due to popular demand, the team over at Dystopia have now updated APRs for USD Plus liquidity pools to account for the boosts from USD Plus. This provides prospective yield farmers a more accurate ROI on their return for liquidity provisions on the exchange. If you guys go to Dystopia and click vote, and you click on info or on a question sign over there, you will see a pop-up where you'll see boosted APR, and you will see USD Plus APR. So basically it says that even in liquidity pool, USD Plus is working and providing you with additional growth. For those of us who've been with us for some time already, it's not a secret. You know that USD Plus is working in the pool. But for new folks, I think it's pretty interesting to see that a pool is being boosted by USD Plus as well. Moving on, couple of news on Avalanche. I know that, guys, Max already shared it a little bit, that we are working on going to Avalanche, and our deployments on Avalanche are coming along swiftly with us starting mainnet testing on the chain. We've successfully connected three strategies: Aave, Vector, and Echidna. So Aave is decentralized, non-custodial liquidity protocol where users can participate in deposit as depositors or borrowers. Depositors provide liquidity to the market to earn a passive income, while borrowers are able to borrow in an over-collateralized or under-collateralized fashion. The protocol is currently operating on a total of 6 chains, and our strategies would involve lending USDC on the protocol's V3 markets. This is very important, guys. Aave is just quintessential for us. So connecting lending and borrowable protocol like Aave is very important for overnight, as USDC redeemed on demand would be supplied through cash strategies, starting with USDC lent out on Aave. Basically, if there's a withdrawal happening on our DApp, so the first strategy where we withdraw money is Aave, because we don't have any slippage there, and this is the cleanest way to do that. If further funds are required, then the portfolio would be instantaneously rebalanced by smart contracts. This principle is currently working on Polygon and will follow on Avalanche as well. The APYs for lending USDC on Avalanche with Aave are slightly higher. Currently, they are 256 as opposed to 142% APY on Polygon, and this is owing to AVAX incentives on Aave. I'll pause here for a second in case we have any questions so far. Can you All right, there's a question from Jeremy. Can you please talk about the yield farming pools of USD Plus and how the yield rebases are generated and how safe the platforms are? Well, there's always, as we always say, there are always protocol risks, right? But from what we know, like, and when we make our own audit of all platforms where we invest our money, kind of the platforms which we use are very safe, right? In addition to audits which they provide, we make our own audit of the code, and we invest our own money, and we check how how accurate are the APRs listed indicated on a platform on a platform. So uh, current current places where you can mine liquidity are very safe. So we're talking about QuickSwap, and we're talking, of course, about Dystopia and Penrose. So yeah, and this is part of Sphere Finance, and you guys know that like what is Sphere Finance? What is a Sphere Finance, right? So yeah, we're pretty confident that that this two like three places are very confident. Um, about yield farming pools. So I'm just reading through the question. How the yield rebases are generated. Well, Jeremy, I think this is a question about like overall how the rebase is happening for USD Plus and how the yield is basically happening, right? And just again, for the majority of our audience, they already know what how it happens, but just to reiterate, this is a pretty important question, like for all of us, where the yield is coming from. So when you mint your USDC on our DApp, what happens is our smart contract reinvests those funds to a set of yield generating strategies. So currently there are, I think, over 5 strategies which are listed on our website, and all of them are visible on our website. And essentially what we're doing is we are either lending USDC, let's say on Aave, or we are splitting USDC to a pair of USDC and USDT and providing liquidity to liquidity pools. In return, we get rewards, and our smart contract sells those rewards daily, and the rewards are coming, of course, in the form of a native stablecoin of each platform where we provide liquidity. And in order to not kind of like be dependent on volatile assets, we sell them right away. Smart contract sells them right away and redistributes the additional value across all holders of USD Plus proportionally, and your balance of USD Plus grows every day, and it is compound. So basically, where APY of 8 to 12% annually is coming from is from the fact that it's compound. Every day it grows, right? Dollar by dollar, it adds, it builds in your wallet. You don't have to do anything. So essentially, it's yield farming as a service. Yield farming kind of yeah, by our smart contract, and you can do exactly the same by investing your money across all of those strategies listed on our website, and you will see exactly the same results. Exactly. So this is the beauty of USD Plus, and this is how it works, and how the growth the growth is happening in your wallet. I hope it explains everything. So let me know if no. But we're moving forward. So coming back to Avalanche, so another protocol where which we're testing is called Vector Finance. Vector is a yield booster on Avalanche and allows users to earn more on their Platypus stablecoin staking, even if they don't own any P2P. So this is a Platypus native token. The protocol does that for you, very similar to what Penrose does for Dystopia, guys. Again, for those who are familiar with Sphere Finance, it will be very similar. Users deposit stablecoins and LP tokens in Vector and receive rewards paid out in PDP, Joe, and VTX. And overnight, as I just described, would liquidate those rewards daily, um, and it would for USDC, after which it would mint the corresponding USD Plus and provide rebates to holders of USD Plus accordingly. Right, so exactly the same as on Polygon. Our strategy on Vector involves supplying single-sided USDC for boosted APRs. Currently, it gives us 4.9%. Echidna Finance. Echidna Finance is the third protocol which we're testing currently. Like Vector, Echidna is yet another yield boosting protocols for Platypus. Our strategy also follows suit on Echidna and would involve supplying USDC for boosted APRs. Pretty much the same, and the APR there is 4.3% currently. Again, this is something that's not visible to you guys, to all of you, but this is like the what's happening under the hood. Essentially, with all our strategies, we're doing the same. We're connecting more and more strategies just to test the water and check how each platform behaves when we invest our own money before we move it on production server. All right, moving on. So this was about Avalanche. We are not launching there yet. We're just testing, and this is just for you guys so that you know where we are in terms of the development, what developers teams is doing. Moving on. Last week we've seen an amazing 2 million in TVL, and it's been shortly after a week when we reached 1 million. So like there's this saying that it's really hard to earn your first million, only the first million, but then it just grows, right? So it's pretty much what we're seeing right now. Quick note and caveat that recently we've seen a withdrawal of 500,000. I think it was yesterday, a withdrawal of 500,000. We survived it, by the way. Nothing happened, despite the fact that that it's 1/4 of the TVL, so which is a pretty significant amount for TVL size, right? 1/4 was what we withdrawn, and we didn't see a decline in our APYs which we provide. So just to put this into perspective, our TVL has grown 3 times since the UST crash. And it means that, well, overnight is a safe haven to park your crypto assets, especially right now, right? So that's what many people are doing. And we also see an increase in USD holders. Polygon scan indicates that the unique addresses holding USD Plus jumped also 3 times to 1,227 addresses, as the current popularity of stablecoins grow. So that's not a surprise for us. Moving on to Penrose, we've seen the highest TVL for liquidity pool on Penrose. To be honest, this is just a tremendous success for a young stablecoin like ours. Just imagine we are number one in pool on Penrose. This is just mind blowing. Of course, we're not talking about billions right now, but it's just the very beginning of our journey, and we're already number one. So previously, Simsala indicated his plans to make USD Plus the most incentivized token on Penrose, and this has borne fruit. The USD Plus USDC pool on Penrose currently has the highest TVL, indicating how beneficial the stablecoin is for liquidity providers. So congrats to us, and thanks to Simsala, of course, and Sphere ecosystem who are helping us as well with this growth. Moving on. We are number 3 among Polygon dApps in highest weekly volumes. Just imagine that, guys. Recently, May 27th, we were number 9 with 784,000 in a weekly volume. In just shortly three weeks after, June, even less than that, June 10th, we are number 3 with 3.8 million of weekly trading volume. This is just mind blowing, to be honest. When we see those results from Polygon, we're just we celebrate internally, and hope you celebrate that with us. Cool. Moving on. Marketing. Um, AMA with Polygon. For those of you who joined, thanks a lot. We had an AMA with Polygon team itself on their Discord where we explain how to mint USD Plus, its mechanisms, and how it makes yield farming more lucrative. This move has resulted in more projects and users being educated and well informed of USD Plus. This is very important for us to be on Polygon, in Polygon community, because, well, they accumulate a lot of projects around themselves. So, and we need to spread the word about different use cases of USD Plus, especially the use case of providing liquidity, not providing, but creating a liquidity pair together with the USD Plus. For those for those of you guys who already know like how it works, kind of like yeah, I'll explain to the rest. Is that in a liquidity pair, a project, like when a project creates a liquidity pair with USD Plus, it provides the project with additional boost from USD Plus. Let's say you provide 100 tokens of your project and pair it with 100 USD Pluses. And if nothing else is happening in the world, USD Plus's work is growing. So every day it produces like $1 or like several cents, and it inevitably appreciates the price of the paired tokens. So what happens is that there's a rebalancing is happening, and you will see at some point 101 USD plus equals to 100 native tokens. And 100 and a USD plus cost $1, right? So it means that your token just increased in price, and many projects, they appreciate that. And what we need to do is just spread the word about it in Polygon community, and make sure that we partner with more projects. Moving on, AMA with 1 inch. So it was incredible, guys. Our AMA with 1 inch can undoubtedly be considered as the AMA of the month. This was another epic AMA where we were joined by Joao Reginato, the VP of product at Circle. And as you know, guys, Circle develops USDC. And being on the same stage with them is very, very important for us, because we consider ourselves as almost USDC successors. I know it's a little bit too big to say that, but being on the same stage with Circle is extremely important for us. And 1inch team shared with us that over 670 people joined this stream, and this was the most popular stream ever for their community. And of course, Max was just unstoppable there, and sharing more and more about USD Plus, and how Max can be um, he can be really inspirational when he talks about USD Plus and about the cases for USD Plus. Going back to Joao, he touched on how Circle operates, its mechanisms to ensure the stablecoins pack. And as you know, USDC is being redeemed, and it redeemed to and from fiat on demand. And he also shared his thoughts about algorithmic stablecoins, and how they are as a threat for DeFi. So we all concluded that collateralized stablecoins are the only trustworthy stablecoins within DeFi, and that not being appropriately collateralized holds tremendous consequences in case of a DPAC. And think of the following: USDC is collateralized with fiat, and USD Plus is collateralized with USDC. So that's the beauty of USD Plus. So we are kind of tied to USDC. Of course, not only USDC, but USDC, USDT, and in some cases, sometimes DAO, depending on the strategy which we use at any moment in time. But of course, most of our assets are in USDC. So currently, if you go to our website, you will see that the USDC in our portfolio is 65.8%, and 34.2% is USDT. By the way, there were questions about the recording of 1 inch AMA. I just had a ping. I just had a conversation, quick conversation with 1 inch team, and they're editing it, and they'll be able to post it sometime. I don't know, like maybe maybe this week. We'll share a link with you guys when it's ready. Moving on, talking about rebranding. As you have probably seen, we've changed our logo, and well, we've talked about that a lot already. But just wanted to thank everyone who participated in this process, especially Dark, for his great ideas. But everyone who left comments and ideas about like the options which we provided, really appreciate it. And just going back, you remember then when we just started, there was a very um, crypto looking website. It was something about space, something about moon, something about stars, like different, like absolutely different colors, like green and like dark, and the logo was different. So the overall feeling of the website was not conveying safety, right? And when we just discussed with the team that, like the number one thing we discuss as a team is just safety, and how we really care about saving money, because USD Plus is not about APY. USD Plus is about like kind of retaining your money, making sure that they are safe, and a plus, and this APY is just a bonus, right? Good that it's 10% APY. It can be lower, but it's not zero, right? But the main thing is safety, and the whole website was not conveying this idea of safety and stability. That is why we started with a website. So we rebranded the website, and you can see how it changed. And we also now released our logo. And just to reiterate what our logo means. So the main element of the logo is a square, which which symbolizes a box, a safe, where you can keep your money. However, you will see that there are transparent um, gaps in those sides, which are aimed to show you the cycle, the dynamics, that something is still happening there. So it's growing. So it's growing every day. You invest your money overnight, and like next Monday or next morning, you see a rebase and your money grow. So it's a cycle. Every day, your money are growing in a box. And of course, the tent pole sign of USD Plus is a plus, right? Which indicates that you are in plus, whatever happens. And even in rough times like that, we're not seeing a negative rebase. So we're always constantly growing, right? And of course, there's another big part is a font of the overnight um, word, and we try to convey technology with it. So there are no capital letters. And it's kind of to make it more friendly, and and we use more technological fonts. Yeah, I guess, guys, that is it for today. In case you have any questions or you'd like to contribute to what I have just said, feel free to drop them in our chat over there, or raise your hands and I'll put you on the stage. Someone just told me, not just, but someone told me that there has to be an awkward silence of 10 seconds before people just start coming up with questions. So let's make this awkward silence of 10 seconds so that you guys have a question in mind. All right. 10 seconds has passed, and I see Jeremy asked, what is the relationship with Sphere? Is it a partnership, or overnight was created by Sphere? It's a partnership. So we just learned about each other through mutual connections, and we showed what we're doing, and Simsala was impressed with the with how cool is that. And after that, he started to make his research. We introduced him to our team and to what devs are doing. And as you know, we're a fully docs team. If you go to our website, you will see all our faces with LinkedIn profiles. So everything is very transparent. So it's a very long term vision for the team. And of course, our founder is the source of is the secret source for our team, because he has 17 years of experience in BCG alone as a partner and had a financial practice. So this guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to finance. So he has he holds MBA, executive MBA from Stanford and INSEAD. He was in Morgan Stanley at some point. So these guys know what he's talking about, right? And of course, when people just start conversation with him, then like it's clear that like this guy is serious and the team is very serious. All right. Do we have hands here? Let's give another 10 seconds. All right, we see something. USDC is a centralized stable coin, so it can be frozen if a wallet holder is identified. Is this risk reflected in USD Plus as well, or is it mitigated? And if so, how? All right, so um, is it? Hold on, let me read the question again. Well, since we're in DeFi, um, we cannot froze your wallet, right? So you're very right. USDC is centralized stablecoin, but I will not say that they can do it, right? And they will do like they will froze something. But since we're in DeFi, I think this risk is mitigated. Um, yeah. So it's yeah, Abdul, thank you. USD Plus is decentralized and permissionless like DAI. Exactly. So there's no risk like that with USD Plus. Any more questions? Anyone wants to get on the stage and just share their thoughts about what's going on currently, and maybe just we can spend some time on it since we have a little bit of time. We can talk about current markets conditions. I know that our plus core community is very savvy um, um, in DeFi world. So if you guys want, you can get on the stage and just share your thoughts on what's going on, and how you see this will unfold. CryptoFit, do you wanna get on the stage and share your thoughts about it?
Hey guys,
Hey, man, fresh, how are you?
1 second. Let me get my thing. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just came up because no one is coming, so I was like,
Okay.
yeah, let me break the mold and be the person with some balls. Anyways, yeah, nice product that you guys have. I wanted to find out the APY. Do you have a way? Because I heard that you said that you distribute it equally to everyone, and I know one of the ways that some other projects do their distribution is a way where people who have bigger amounts get smaller stakes for as a marketing ploy, basically to offer a higher APY to the smaller investors. So is that something that you guys consider?
No, that's not something that we consider. Well, basically, like you're talking about some kind of progressive APY scale, where
Yeah,
the higher your stake is, the lower yield is. No, that's
yeah. I mean, this can be done with some people who either really believe in the ecosystem, for example, Simsana, or maybe you have like a guild of investors that have invested a lot more. I can imagine if I had like $10 million or something invested in your project, I wouldn't mind getting less APY to give the protocol the ability to offer smaller investors more APY just because of that, just as a marketing thing. Obviously, I know that you guys don't want to focus on the APY as a huge selling point, but yeah, it is a way to market your products to new entrants.
well, I think this as an idea, this is a very interesting idea, and I think that I can bring it to our team. But I've never heard that discussion among us like before. So this was never on like never a discussion, you know. Um,
Yeah,
and we don't have those kind of like, you know, like huge investors who are bringing like 10 million. Probably, you know, if we would go,
well, at some point, so look into the future.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, this might make sense. For example, we were thinking about bringing liquidity before the UST crush, and we were talking about, okay, how do we kind of like make an arrangement with someone with huge pockets so that they just give us like $100 million, right? Just for liquidity. And in this case, I can see this pretty like this could be the case. This conversation could happen. Yeah, I can see it happening, right? Because we're
Yeah,
talking.
in a way that it's not like you're not confirming to the small people that it's for the whole year, so that it actually moves dynamically. So that yeah, you're not over promising things and then you go into you never over promise basically. But yeah, the second thing I wanted to ask was you guys make the money how? Because I heard what you said through lending and borrowing and through yield farming. Is that correct?
No, we are not. No, no. This is how USD Plus holders are making money.
Yeah.
We are currently we're not making money. We are backed by a number of like very reputable investors, including founder of Polygon, including founder of CoinList, and a bunch of other really kind of very serious people. But in future,
Oh, so what I mean is like, how does the APY come? But I get you're answering how you're funded, right?
yeah. So what's the question then?
No, I was wondering about how the APY comes about, like for the users.
Oh, I think I just shared it recently. Like,
I know, I know, I know, I know. I just wanted to hear it again if possible.
oh yeah. So basically, we are what we're doing is we are taking your USDC, and the smart contract automatically reinvests it to a set of yield generating strategies, and some of them are just lending, like Aave. Like we provide USDC to Aave. Some of them are
Yeah,
providing liquidity to liquidity pairs, right? Like on I think that even we even have Dystopia at this point.
yeah.
Hold on, I'm just looking at our strategies. What we have currently, we have the following. Yeah, we have Dystopia USDC USDT. We have Dodo USDC. So we provide USDC to Dodo. We have Dystopia USDC DAI, Aave, Arrakis, and Tattoo USDC. Yeah, so we provide liquidity to those protocols, or we provide just USDC lended. In return, every day we're getting rewards of like in native tokens of those protocols, and every day we sell those rewards, and we increase the balance of USD Plus holders based
Is
on.
there a negative? Sorry about interrupting. Is there a negative sentiment on the fact that you sell it every day? I
Um,
mean, it's your right as an investor, but I know that I'm sure that there might be some people that might be thinking, oh, this is negative is a negative impact for their token because you sell it immediately.
Well, thing is that it's not a ton of money, honestly. Like every day,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not huge amounts, so it does not
Yeah.
really impact them. So like what would really impact them is like if their institutional investor would just dump like a huge sum, right? A huge amount. But here, it just
Yeah.
every day we're just yeah selling a little bit. So no, we've never
Okay.
heard anything like that from them, that hey guys, we don't like what you're doing there, because it's the nature
Yeah.
of it's the nature of how like
Yeah.
this is their offering. They would limit it probably, right?
Yeah.
And they have other
Um,
incentivizing options how to incentivize holding, right? So sometimes they say that okay, let's so you want to lock it, and in return you will receive, let's say in Dystopia, you receive VDist, right? And if you lock it, then you have higher APYs. So you have this option, but we're like we don't have to use those options, right? So we can just sell it, and then they're fine with that, because this is kind of how they set it up.
okay. The other question I wanted to ask was, what kind of risks do you guys have to possible exploits for the different protocols you're involved in? I mean, that's a risk that we all take, but then with the smaller ones, what kind of risk do you have with that? Do you guys invest only a certain amount to make sure that you're not over invested in any particular place?
So you're saying if a protocol is small in liquidity, are there any risks associated with that?
No, I'm saying, do you guys have measures, risks to make sure that you're not over invested into any protocol?
Oh, definitely,
Provided, like, okay,
100%. Yeah, and this is a great question, and it's something that we just evaluate upfront, like well upfront. So this is part of our diligence when we look at the new at a new protocol. It's extremely important. Liquidity is extremely important. That is why we will never go to a place where we are a significant player in this liquidity. And when we grow a lot, it's probably gonna be something that we need to solve for, right? But currently, we evaluate it very closely, and we don't let it happen.
okay. The with Sphere, I'm not actually invested in Sphere, but I know that they have this quantum liquidity thing, and I know that you also have USD Plus. That is a possibility for them to be paired to. So if they pair with USD Plus, and they're also doing the quantum liquidity, I'm not really sure how that works. Like, how do you take something that's already yield farming and then take it to a yield farm again?
Well, this is coming, so that's something that well we discussed with Sphere Finance team. At some point, this will come, but well, I don't see a problem with it. So I mean, like it's the same.
No, I was
Is
just
it
trying to.
what is that?
No, I'm not. I'm not calling it a problem. I was just thinking out loud,
Yeah.
like
It
wondering
it's pretty much the same as current
quantum
liquidity.
liquidity. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I'm saying when they do the quantum liquidity, is it that they take the USD plus that is, let's assume a protocol pairs with your token USD plus, then you want to do quantum liquidity. Is that a situation where you're taking it back to yield farm in the USD plus ecosystem again, or is that like taking USD plus to yield farm elsewhere? That's the question I'm asking.
I don't think I'm well positioned to answer this question. Maybe we can just park it until Max is able to kind of like take it, or you can just post it in our Discord,
Okay.
and we'll be and he'll be able to take it. Yeah, from my
Okay.
understanding, this is all in Sphere ecosystem, right? And
Yeah.
USD Plus will be a part of it, so it will be growing like by
Yeah.
on its own, and as a part of like as part of infinity quantum liquidity, sorry. Yeah, so
Yeah. Okay.
it's gonna be pretty
Honor.
much the same as in the liquidity pairs provisioning, right? So in a liquidity pair, um like for example, you stake in Dystopia or in
Yeah.
Penrose, you receive pen or dist. So it's kind of growing, right? And in the same time, your liquidity pool, which is staked, is growing as well.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, I wanted to ask two more things. Basically, so there's some protocols like Abracadabra that gives you the ability to pretty much leverage your stable coins. Do you guys do something like that too? Like for example, you borrow you use your USDC, you borrow and keep on borrowing until you can't borrow anymore, so you increase your APY, like over leveraging.
Yeah, that's a great question. Currently, it's not happening, but it's going to happen sometime soon. I believe when Prion is launched, this will be the place where we'll be able to use USD Plus and leverage it several times. But currently,
Okay, pre-on. That's what's fair.
yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
currently, it's not available for us as of now.
Okay. And yeah, like so that would basically allow us to have a much higher yield on the token since they're stable coins. So it wouldn't really be much risk. Like what risk is there to over leveraging when it's stable coins?
Well, yeah, indeed, there's not much risk, but when you but there's still something some risk, and when you leverage it like 10 times, like
Yeah.
it can be pretty significant, or 11 times, it can be pretty significant. So you still have to make sure that you are over kind of a collateralized, like when you borrow on pre-own. But again,
Yeah.
it's pretty early to talk about that, so let's just make sure
Yeah.
that we have all the details about how it works. And I will definitely make some kind of AMA, or um
About that.
yeah, or some kind of like about session where we'll go through it in in great details.
Okay. And what is like the because I heard you say this is like the next evolution of USDC. So what is the vision for USD Plus? Where do you see this? Do you see it as something that's going to
Hello, can you hear me? Sorry guys, I cannot hear you. Hold on.
there's the algorithmic stablecoin things?
Sorry, I disappeared for a second and I lost you. Can you repeat
Okay.
the
Can
question? Yeah, yeah. Can you repeat the question?
Basically, I was asking like, what is the vision for USD Plus? As I heard you say USD, like you guys were the next evolution for USDC. So I was wondering to find out what is the vision for the company? Where do you see it going? Do you see it becoming its own stable coin in its own right, like that decouples from USDC, or and maybe works with other stable coins like USDT and the other bunch of new ones that are coming up? Or yeah, like what do you where do you see it going? And by the way, what chain do you guys, or is it like analogous? What chain do you guys have, like a main chain that you operate on? I
Well,
know for now it's probably Polygon.
yeah, for now it's Polygon, but we are developing on Avalanche. We're developing on Phantom, and maybe Arbitrum in future. So we're gonna be cross chain for sure. And as for the vision, well, the thing is that we don't have a number in mind, because it's a little bit irresponsible to just think of something, but we're looking at the magnitude of USDC, right? So I'm talking
Yeah,
about magnitude, right? So it's not a number, but it's just we're planning to be.
I get what you mean. The type of the type of company, that kind of
Yeah,
gravity.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So the magnitude should be like that, because essentially what we're doing is that we are upgrading the system and making it better, right? Where you just not leave your money like not working, but we just help you make sure that your money is working. So it's biggest difference here, and this is what we're building. On a large scale, it's going to be pretty technically, um, even more complicated, and we acknowledge that. And we've seen this with the conversation with Joao Reginato, on 1inch. He shared that,
Oh,
well, they are they are making, like, I don't remember the number, but like it's just like billions, like, of transactions daily with their B2B partners, right? With Coinbase, with crypto.com, Kraken, and Binance. So like it's huge. So they need to figure it out. They figured it out how to transfer those funds in a very efficient way quickly, right?
mm.
And make sure it's safe as well. So it's a long journey for us as well, I'm sure. So we're just newborns here, and it's a new journey. It's a long journey ahead. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it's. I think that there are a lot of things that you can do, like probably make a bridge or something that bridges all the different chains, but then just with USD Plus that works faster than the other ones. So you just focus on your token, and then yeah, like there's so many things that you can do. But then yeah, I like your idea.
yeah.
I'm asking questions because I'm hoping that our project that we're working on would pair with your token. So yeah,
Oh, cool.
hope for the best.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hey,
All
Doc.
right, nice talking.
Nice talking to you. Hey, Doc, how are you?
Yo, yo, how's it going?
Going good. Going good.
Yeah,
Um,
wanted to ask, how did you come to like join the overnight team, and how did you meet Max?
oh, that's a great question. What my former boss was a classmate with Max in one of the executive education, or either courses or something else, and he reached out to her first. But she's very traditional marketer, and she's extremely talented. But she's more like a video commercial type of person and classic marketing. And she just recommended me because she told that, hey, you need someone who's just more dynamic like that than me, uh, um and who's ready to roll up his sleeves and just figure it all out, how this works. So yeah, that is how we met. And we started with a kind of advisory, and then I just joined the team.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah, and it's indeed very different. The marketing here is extremely different from traditional world, right? So it's all about community. It's all about you guys, because it's such a source of information and source of kind of like inspiration, like everything, right? And even promotion. We don't
Hmm.
we don't use marketing budget at all right now, so that everything what's going on is it's very organic. So
Hmm.
that's the beauty of it, right? I'm not sure if it's scalable long term. Like at some point we will need to just start investing a little bit. But so far what's going on is everything is organic.
Yeah, and it definitely shows with how the community has been growing over time. So I think that is good. With that being said, like, from kind of what you're working on from a, kind of marketing and strategy perspective, like what do you want to see happen in the future for like on the kind of the community side of things?
Well, I think that we really need to make sure that community is healthy. So, well, what I would like to see is community is growing, but it's healthy. Like when I just came into in crypto, I just thought, okay, well, all those airdrops is so cool, all those competitions is so cool, but then I understand that, like having 800 people like live right now, who are engaged and who are constantly on our server, it's priceless. And this is what we need to achieve, not having like 100,000 people joining our server, but having people who are online with us, who are jumping in conversations, who are ready to cover for us and answer questions. Sorry guys, I need to just calm down something which is lying next to me. Just give me a second. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, so yeah, this is the vision. And of course we need to continue building a brand. And we've just started to do that, right? Building a brand is extremely important so that people understand, like, who we are, what we're about, what are our values, what's the team behind this project. Continue building transparency. Continuing being out there for our community to reach out to us. So this is something that crypto world is missing, and we identify that, and we just address those pain points and make sure that kind of we just continue doing what we're doing right now. Um, yeah, that's from marketing standpoint.
Nice. Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of how to uh, organically scale and make sure that the community kind of goes along that journey with you. So yeah, I really like it. I think that's going to be what kind of differentiates Overnight from a lot of other crypto projects out there. So yeah, I'd say keep on indexing on that.
Yeah, thank you, Dark. I recently had a very interesting conversation. I live in Austin, and I participated in Coin Census, and I had a very interesting conversation. Someone told that actually people, the audience, like the people, they like projects with who do not have their own native token. I don't know. Well, have you heard this idea before? Like, because the native token is just something that's not super stable, and, I mean, governance token, not super stable, and it's always it always um, inflates. So inflation is high, and if you don't have the a token, so kind of it's more attractive to people. I don't know. Have you heard this kind of saying before? Say this idea before?
Yeah, I've actually heard these. Some of the things that I do actually at my job, I actually work in Web3 technologies for a, a Fortune 500 company, and yeah, one of the things that I think kind of dilutes the message or the core kind of understanding for a lot of crypto projects out there is you build on a chain, you launch a token, and then you put governance tokens on top of that, and then with those governance tokens you can do all these different great things, but for some projects they're just going for marketing and just so they can say like, haha, I have this checkbox, but not really thinking through the implementation and the downstream impact of what that actually looks like. And so that's something I think is it's fine to have governance tokens, but I think it's more important to really think through the entire ecosystem and how the utility of that governance token is going to work instead of just having a checkbox that says, yeah, hey, we have governance tokens now.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. And this is one of the reasons why we remember that we were promoting our rewards program heavily, maybe 4 weeks ago, actually, before UST happened. And then we realized that we are seeing, we're still planning to do that, but maybe a little bit later. We realized that we are growing even without that. So this governance token is, you're right, it's used for marketing purposes, and it's not necessarily what we want to do at this point. Like, if we have to, like, we probably need to. But if we don't have to do that, if we see that the growth is happening organically, we don't necessarily need to release uh, our our governance token. So yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, and I can, kind of building off of what you said, I feel like if you look at Overnight's kind of mission statement, your your money doesn't sleep. Your money is working even when you're not. And that very simple kind of premise is, very apparent with, the USD Plus. And keeping it very simple, I think, is really hard in crypto because it's very easy to go off on all these offshoots and make all these different you know degen plays that you want, but it's really really hard to stay kind of true to your kind of original vision and make sure that you're kind of delivering value and utility on that before you start kind of branching out to everything else. So yeah, if there's any advice I would give any crypto project is just focus on keeping it simple because crypto is already really hard. You just need to make sure that everything that you're doing in that space is just as easy and as simple as possible for, the average person to pick up and understand.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Couldn't be told more better. Recently, a project reached out to me and Max, and they told it, hey guys, we'd like to partner. Let's make a pair together. Of course, we're open to that, but you know that we're very friendly. We answer everyone who reaches out to us with this kind of questions. But they just pasted description of what they're doing, and I read it like 2 times, and I couldn't grasp the idea. Really,
Mm.
like, but and this is exactly what you're talking about, right? It has to be simple, so that
Yeah.
people understand. Even I, with the kind of somewhat like experience in DeFi, I couldn't understand what they're doing, and like, is it done on purpose? Is it done so that people don't understand it? Like, something cool is happening, cool words, and people are just jumping to those cool words, attracted to those cool words. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the goal of this complexity? I really don't understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's really, distill, focus your vision, and continue to deliver on that. If a lot of organizations, a lot of companies don't get that right, and once you kind of figure out that secret sauce, yeah, that's the if you're bringing value to your customers, there's no way you're not going to make money. There's no way you're not going to be successful. And if you continue to keep that kind of customer focused, community focused mission, it's only going to be a lot easier for you guys in the long run. And yeah, it may be quote unquote harder in the short run because maybe you're saying like, oh, we're not growing as fast as we projected, blah 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 blah. But I think if the strategies are sound, the contracts are sound, the protocol as a whole is a net positive. And from what I've seen from the last several months that I've looked at it, it has always made money, which is pretty crazy to say in the crypto space. I think it's a winning long term bet.
Yeah, definitely. And this crisis is testing us, right? Because if we can make it through it, like if anyone can make it through it, imagine what kind of APYs could be when there is a bull market, right?
Yeah.
What kind of rewards would we be getting on stables? So
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, let's wait for it. Let's just make sure that we're very risk averse now and live through this winter, and we're definitely gonna be stronger after that.
Very cool stuff. Awesome. Well, I've been talking a lot, so I'll let other people chat. I'll hop off the.
Hey, I wanted to ask one question.
Sure.
The project that was like difficult to grasp, what was it about?
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to say.
No, like not the name. What was it about? Like what type of project was it?
It was financial services, so it's something like another financial services which they offer to their audience. Um, but yeah, I cannot just tell it in one phrase. I still need to reread it third time to just make sure that I understand it. So won't even try to replicate what they wrote to me. But it's something with DeFi, right? With finance. So we got this scheme where you do this, we do that, and you get those rewards, and everything is growing, and you'll be a part of it. So, and yeah, it's. But we're at time, guys. So yeah. Let me thank everyone who was on the stage today, who was listening today to what I was saying. I know Max, like everyone wants to see Max. He's traveling right now currently. So next week he'll be probably joining from France. And yeah, I hope that you'll see him soon and you'll be able to ask him questions. But he's constantly in chat, so if you have more questions, feel free to ask in chat, and I'm sure he'll jump in. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week. Bye.